Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Good afternoon, everyone. It's Doc and Queenie Facebook Live at high noon. Hi, Queenie.
Hi, Doc. What is going on today? Red, white, and blue all over the place.
I love my country. I love my flag, and happy Flag Day.
Happy Flag Day to you too. National Day of is always one of the fun things we like to share at Doc and Queenie, especially when it's something super duper fun. And this is obviously one of those dynamic patriotic days. We've got 4th of July coming up in a couple weeks. Can you believe? As much as we were waiting for spring and summer, it's like, okay, slow down.
We're weeks away from where I live. We can shoot off fireworks for 4 or 5 days, and it's like a war zone around here, but it's fun. We don't buy fireworks because there's so much. We just sit at the end of the driveway and just spin in a circle, and you see.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, it actually is. And I heard that several of the fireworks displays this year are going to be up again. So cool. Obviously last year was either restricted or not at all. And the year before that, there were issues. So, I mean, it's just going to be nice to have normal back in our world again.
Yes. Yeah, we just make sure we stay home for the 4th of July because one year, neighbor next to us, they shoot off a lot of fireworks. And one year they had a bottle rocket tip. And it was one of the years which year we had, I don't know how many weeks of 95 plus and the lawn was dormant. And it hit the side of our house and hit the bottom of a tree and everything went. I mean, it was like this up in flames. Like we're not talking little flame, we're talking 6 foot in the air.
Oh my gosh.
Scary. Oh so we just stay home for that holiday.
Keep your house nice and wet. That would be the best.
I usually turn the hose on in the backyard because the people behind us are always shooting off fireworks. So at least if it lands and it's still smoldering, it won't catch fire. So I think.
Gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
It really seriously is, but praise God you were home for that one. So that once again, it's so nice to be protected.
Yeah, we all jumped up and were running and hoses are flying and we got it out. But it was, you don't have any concept of how quickly something can catch on fire. When it's dry. I mean, you always hear about it, but the real deal is a little different.
It's like with everything else. Nobody ever thinks it's going to happen to them anyway.
Right.
That could never happen. I love how many times in my life I've heard that could never happen. And I'm like, yeah, okay, good. So it's nice that you know that. It's one of those things, honestly, there are several groups, organizations that literally line the streets, the parkways with flags on Flag Day, on Memorial Day, on Veterans Day, on several days. And around here, it's just so nice to see. And you picked a great one. I love yours too.
Thank you. Thank you. The internet is wonderful.
Yeah, it seriously is. And I happen to know it's National Something Else Day. And I love the way that you celebrate that day too.
Let me see what I have in my little my files here. Of course, I wish I had quicker timing here, but I will start with this picture.
Ta-da! Oh my gosh, seriously?
It is Happy National Strawberry Shortcake Day.
That is so honestly one of my favorite desserts in the world. If it's made correctly, which means my grandmother's way. And all those recipes died with her. So guess who doesn't have to make it? I think I'm going to go to Jasper and see what he can do because Jasper is the king of dessert all over Kansas City area and probably beyond. And he probably makes, and his mama, she is fantastic to make authentic desserts and probably the same generation as my grandma. So that would have been a cool way to make it. Have you made strawberry shortcake for your family before, Doc?
It's funny. I have not.
Okay.
I have not. But I have a story.
Do it. Oh, what is that?
It's the many uses of strawberries. Actually, we celebrated strawberry shortcake. If you can see, I'm pointing again in the wrong direction. I was down in Florida in April and with my buddy, our mascot buddy Mama. And we went to the strawberry festival down there and came home with a whole bunch of strawberries. We made strawberry shortcake. We made sangria. Of course, you have to put it with wine. And,
I think that's
and then just had a whole bunch to pick. So, but yeah, I have never made strawberry shortcake, believe it or not. I actually, we used to, as kids, we had a summer home up in southwestern Michigan, and that is the fruit belt in the Midwest. And so we would go to the strawberry farm, and my mom would let us just go. There are 4 kids. And one year we had 35, 40 pounds of strawberries. And
Oh
so
my
we
God.
had strawberry shortcake, strawberry custard pie, strawberry, strawberry, strawberry. I like my strawberries in a bowl with a little bit of sugar or a little bit of real whipped cream, just enough to, just a slight sweet. Though the strawberries up there, and I have yet to, I'm being biased, but I have yet to find strawberries that are as naturally sweet. Like
Yeah,
the stuff you
I
get
would
in the
much
store
prefer
just
the
does not
natural
do it.
sweet to adding sugar to it. That would probably kill me, but
Yeah,
um,
probably would.
yeah. And real whipped cream, think about that too.
Yes.
Frankly, even in the olden days, I think it was called Dream Whip or something. And so I made Dream Whip, like whip it with a beater thing. And then nowadays, I think young people just do Cool Whip stuff
Yep.
or that squirt cream stuff. I don't think there's a lot of people that even know, young people who know what it means to, and look who forgot. Is it you whip it to peak, or what does that mean?
Well, you can do it that way, but they have these little canisters now where you put CO2 um, gas in it, and it charges and it creates the whipped cream. You just push the button and the whipped cream comes out.
OMG. Well, once again, Shazam for me.
I
Push a
don't
button.
have one because I would be putting whipped cream on everything.
Yeah,
So there's certain things I don't have, like a fryer, because I'd fry everything.
there you go.
A Cool Whip maker thing. I don't know what you call them. I'm sure somebody that's watching could, help us
Oh my
out there.
gosh. I can't
But
even
yeah, you
imagine.
just pop the little canister on, and that gives you enough, oomph to turn it into whipped cream.
Oh my gosh. Of course, everything's instant. And look who's talking since I push a button and have stuff delivered. But oh my goodness, it is seriously phenomenal to me. Anything that happens in the K room and some of these gadgets and appliances, I'm like, okay, Doc, it looks pretty interesting. Okay.
Well,
What
we'll have to check out the K room with you, Queenie, sometime, huh?
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe so. In fact, wouldn't that be kind of a fun thing? Maybe we could create our own strawberry shortcake.
There you go. That's an excuse.
Yeah, that's a great excuse. And then
And then
accidentally
sample it.
that we'd have to eat it just to be kind. And
Yes.
I
Be
love being
kind.
kind. I think I know what's behind you. My favorite thing in the whole
Well,
world that comes out of your garden.
yes, it's also yesterday, day before. I'm trying to, all the days are running together because I've been so busy. I think it was Saturday. Was picking the garlic scapes day. It was
Is that a
Saturday.
national holiday?
In my household, yes. Yes, because we're 3 to 4 weeks out from actually pulling the garlic out of the garden. So
Oh my gosh. Now,
garlic scapes are here.
this has
So
been a fast time from a standpoint of you planted fall.
planted mid-October, and these are hardneck garlics. So that means you let them go over the winter, go through the
Okay.
winter.
Yeah.
And hardneck garlics shoot up these things called scapes. And actually the little bulb on the end is where the flower would be if we were to let it flower. And of course it's loaded with seeds if we let it get to that piece. But
You
what
just
I do is,
answered the question for me.
yeah,
Why does
so
everybody not know what a garlic scape is? Maybe it's because typical people don't plant hardneck garlic. They plant just normal garlic.
yes, but it's funny, there's a new trend. Garlic scapes are starting to hit the marketplace. I don't, I haven't been out to the market in a while. I don't know if they've hit our area. I wouldn't put it past them, but yeah, they're only for hardneck garlics.
Wow. Now
And
that might,
hardneck means the stem is hard. You cannot, like a lot of times you will see the garlic that's braided. But this you can't move it. It's so stiff.
there we
Sorry.
go.
Um, sorry about the buzzer in the back. We're living here. There it goes. Thank you.
That's okay.
But it's a stiff-necked garlic, and you can't braid it. But you get these
Okay.
scapes, And
And
then
that's what I was going to say. The other garlic that everybody does braid, so they'll have the bulbs in their kitchen all year.
Mhm.
Maybe that's why I've never heard of Scapes until now, because I'm definitely
Probably.
a fan, but I would not have known the difference of hardneck and all the different varieties that you talk about.
Oh, there's tons of different varieties. Yeah. And I do an Italian purple, which is actually, you're going to laugh, a little on the spicy side.
Since you're such a spicy girl, is
I'm
that
such
right?
a spice. Yeah. I'm a spice wimp. They're spicy when they're new. You should
Ah,
let them age a couple of months, but we can't wait. We wait about 2 or 3 weeks after I pull them, and then we start using them. But they are spicy when they're fresh.
So what
Um,
what age means is once you pick it, you let it sit before you use it. Is that right?
yeah. Yep.
Okay.
And that's where the you see that skin that's over the garlic bulb, that kind of, it dries out, it kind of forms that skin over the garlic bulb as you age it.
Wow.
Um, yeah, and the flavor gets more intense, and actually the spice part of it kind of mellows out. The longer you age it, the more mellow it becomes.
Now that's
Uh,
the reverse to me.
well, yeah, well, and actually the other day when I was pulling these garlic scapes, I got some of the juice from them on my fingers, and they were burning my fingers.
I was going to say, I know that you did that once before, and I thought, uh-oh,
I'm a
this is
wimp.
the,
I
well, the spice part, if it's so incredibly intense when you first pick it, I can see where that would be a big deal. But the garlic is better when you let it age, even though the spice is stronger at the beginning. You see what I mean? For
yeah,
me,
doesn't make sense.
that seems to
Yeah,
go reverse. Okay. Because I
yeah,
would
in
definitely
our experience. Yeah,
okay, that I would want to taste it when it's at its spiciest. But if you have to age it to make it better, then I just missed out on the spice part, right?
well, yeah, it's like the, it's like the depth, we could say wine, how a fine wine, you age it. That's kind of the same concept as the garlic, the depth of
Okay.
the flavor. It just gets better the longer it sits. But
Okay.
it still has flavor when you pick it brand new, but it's a little more on the spicy side.
I happen to know on the Doc and Queenie community page that you posted a question about how many garlic scapes, and I
Yes.
would love to be the winner. So when are you going to make that announcement?
I might do that today or maybe tomorrow. I don't know.
Okay. That'll be kind of fun. We've had several guesses on there of the big bunch that you picked, and it seriously seems phenomenal and overwhelming to me. We talk about gardening a lot on this show, and for those of you joining us live and certainly on the replay, we welcome you to the Doc and Queenie Facebook Live, where we talk about um, Girl Chat with a Faith Twist for all of our faithful friends on purpose. And we love that you're part of this community. And Doc is obviously kitchen garden expert, and that's why we talk so much about soul, body, spirit, and basically from garden to table. And Doc is kind enough to tell us some of the steps. What's going on if we're going to be 93 degrees today in Kansas City, and 2 or 3 or 4 days ago there was a deluge slash storm slash hail in some areas? This weather seems, even for me, the avid gardener that I am, even for me, this weather seems a little bit topsy-turvy if you're trying to grow something.
Well, and my story. I've been trying to grow tomatoes and beans lately because it is the season, but we have an area where we have lots of wonderful bunnies, and I have lost half of my tomato plants, and I've lost all of my green beans.
Well, now on their behalf, I would like to say thank you for growing the stuff that keeps them happy.
Yeah, I really love making the bunnies happy. It's all about bunny happiness.
Yeah, never mind about feeding your family. Let's do bunny happiness. There you go.
But the weather has been, and we say this every year because we generally in the spring get a lot of rain and it's cold for a long time. Um, and I need to track it a little better. Last year we had a lot of rain at the beginning, but we didn't have the snow thing that we did this year, which I think threw everything off. I know for my own garden, it killed half of what I had, even though I covered stuff up. And then like you said, we got 10 to 12 days of rain. We actually, the last time I checked, and I'll have to go back, we had 7 inches of rain. And we
Whoa.
that in that 10 days. And then we only traditionally annually get 35 inches of rain in this area. And we already at the beginning of May, we're at 31 inches. So,
Seriously. Oh, now my
yeah.
gosh.
So, but it's like gardening, like anything, you just got to keep plodding through and try and see what works and what doesn't. And, I'm going to replant my beans somewhere else. I bought chicken wire. I hate doing chicken wire, but they are just nasty. They even, Queenie, in my garden boxes, you ready for this one? And actually I'll show you the picture. Oops, wrong button. Wrong button. I'll show you the picture of the garden box. I have 4 brand new baby visitors in this garden box inside of my
Oh
house.
my gosh.
They're 4 little gray, little cute eyes closed.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Well,
Yep.
how lovely that you are a gardener and you understand what that means with all the different nuances within the gardening experience. Thus, not a good fit for me. I don't want things coming to nest or harvest or whatever they do in my gardens. Now, honestly, you have to just wait till they hop away, or what are you going to do about this?
Well, the funny thing is, and I don't have a picture of how everything growing in there. They're right in between the carrots and the lettuce, and that has not been touched. So
Okay.
I'm going to be taking away their food source. So
Okay.
once they are moving around and their eyes are open and they're able to leave the box,
They're leaving.
they're leaving. They will not have anything to eat. So I don't, my carrots are about halfway through, but we're building another box anyways. So it's just been a crazy, like you said, the weather, now the bunnies, we have squirrels that are eating our flowers
Oh my
because I do a lot
God.
of flowers. So it's just crazy,
You're kind of
crazy.
like Little House on the Prairie, my
I
friend.
guess so, I guess so. But like anything, we're learning, like business, we learn stuff. We do.
When you have said here on this show before that you learned your gardening from your parents, which means they gardened all the time.
Yes.
Did you have
Yes.
these weather variables and bunny variables too?
Well, actually, my parents, I talked about Michigan, our home up in Michigan. They used to plant, their house was in the woods and they had one little patch where they would plant flowers and et cetera. And they had deer problems. They had deer, bunnies. Yeah. And then throwing a snake here and there.
Oh no,
Not a good fit for you.
not a good fit for you. You are correct.
Yeah.
That's not,
They had deer. They had deer problems and they wound up putting up an electrical fence to keep them out of the garden. But they tried everything. There's all of these natural ways to, and I get that. I mean, for 5 or 6 years straight, we have an oak tree. And in this area, when it gets hot and dry, like it's starting to get, the oak mites come out. People will call them oak mites or chiggers. Some people get bit, some people do not. I get bit.
I had a
And I've tried everything. And actually last year was the first time I tried our 2.5 with the Kangen water, and it worked, provided I sprayed it where it needed to go. I did not spray the top of my shoes, and I got my feet all chewed up basically. But everywhere else was fine.
oh my
It took
gosh.
5 years to get to that. I didn't know about the water because you told me about the water. But up until that point, I tried all of these natural remedies, and some of them work, some of them don't. They didn't work for me. I don't know. My guess is it's my chemistry, obviously, because my husband and some of my kids can walk out and stand under the same tree and they won't be bit, and I'm covered. I am covered.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Well, that's a perfect, I guess you would say, segue into everyone is different. And what
Right.
works for some doesn't work for someone else. And so it's just a matter of there's so many choices now. And just even look with your kitchen garden expert website.com, by the way, for those of you watching with us. But kitchen garden expert, you have, I love, that's one of my favorites in the world.
Everybody's different.
Yeah. Um, Some people are wanting your smaller garden boxes. Some people want those little planter boxes that you're doing. And some people want the metal one that you're working on. So nobody's the same. And it really is phenomenal that you are so accommodating, I guess you would say, to all the different needs and requests of all your clients, because I appreciate the fact that you carve out this noontime for us because I know what your schedule is like. But oh my gosh, everybody has a different niche or want of what they're wanting for their kitchen garden. And it seems like you can seriously take care of all those different requests.
Yeah, it's, it's meeting people where they're at, like you with the water business, that you can hit, I'd say hit, that's the wrong way to put it. You can speak to so many different people on so many different levels because, we all need it in a different way.
Absolutely.
For me, it was an easy with the water piece because it's partially of the naturopathy of what I do with my clientele with that. Outside of, growing food, helping people grow food, you also need healthy, clean water, alkalized water. And you've had people approach you, that have different needs also. It's just, and I think that's the best part of being, a business that can meet people where they're at with what you do with your expertise.
It really does make such a difference too. And I think about this a lot with networking. It's almost summertime, even though it's not official yet, but most people gauge it by Memorial Day weekend. But I think about people who say things like, well, summer's coming, I'm not going to have any business for a few months. And I've always been puzzled by that because my house payment doesn't stop in the summer, nor my car payments, nor my boat payments, nor my any other kind of payments that you would have. How does that work that they think their business is just not going to happen? I had another machine go out last week to a massage therapist who wanted a shower unit. Well, once again, you meet people where they are and you find out what their challenges are and how you can be a problem solver.
Right.
I've never understood when people say, well, summer's coming, so everything slows down. I'm sitting here going, holy moly. And especially look at your business. Everything doesn't slow down at this season. It's like, I don't even know what day it is to get this figured out, to get these orders handled. I had another delivery this morning. Actually, I check it with my camera. And I had another delivery this morning from FedEx at 8:54 this morning. And I thought, these people are on it. I mean, I am so serious. And I watch everything that goes on around here, obviously. And it's come and go constantly. And it was so nice to see because one of my friends ordered a filter and wanted it delivered here. So I have her filter for her. This is the kind of thing when you've got a company that is accommodating and can meet the needs of people where they are. It's fantastic. But 8:54 for a FedEx delivery, I thought, holy moly, they are not wasting any time. Now, on the flip side, maybe they're doing that because they know today in Kansas City is going to be 93 and they wanted to get their deliveries.
Probably.
Wanted to get those deliveries done quickly. How's the cedar shortage conversation that we had before? Is that back to normal?
No, it's still pricey.
Really?
I haven't checked in the past couple of weeks because things that way have slowed down, but other things have picked up with the gardening piece. We're doing planters a little bit.
So there's still a shortage of cedar?
Well, you can say it's a shortage, but who knows? I mean, there's conflicting information, but the prices are still pricey. We use cedar. I'm sorry?
You have to wait, like when you are placing an order, you can't get your cedar on time, or how does that?
I can get it on time. I actually have a supplier where I can get it on time, which is good. I mean, but it's the price is high, but I also look at, it's not just the price of the wood that people are getting with the garden box. They're getting, 40 plus years of, did I just say that 40, even though I'm 25? 40 years of a gardening experience. In addition, we call them full installations where we come, we'll level everything out, put down decorative rock, edging, put the box up, fill it with soil, fill it with plants, put a trellis, And then actually I was visiting one of my clients today and we did a little video. So I'll be posting that here soon. I was checking out her garden and she said, oh, I don't think it's good. And I said, hey, you're doing great. You've got plants. You don't have bunnies in your garden. You didn't lose half your garden.
Oh my God. Well, that is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
can't
we,
wait
we
to
planted and I'm sorry, you cut out there. I missed what you just said.
I said I can't wait to see the
What
video.
did you say? Yeah, yeah, it'll be fun. We just chit chatted about what she likes about the garden box, and today we planted some tomato plants. So she is super excited about getting some tomatoes, which, I'm helping her out with that, and that's, yeah, it's like you say, it's giving back. It's helping
Yeah.
people, meeting them where they're at. And what we both do, it's all health and wellness, um, from many different angles. So, and I have to tell you one more thing. Um, I actually had mentioned this, I do believe it was last week. I'm trying to get my picture in the background and it's not cooperating. There we go. But if people go to my website, I have my book on my website, which is free. It's a PDF. You can download the PDF. But basically, it's called A Healing Journey, Soul, Body, Spirit. And it's my story. It's how I got into um, becoming a doctor of traditional naturopathy, my path to wellness through the soul, body, spirit connection, and just the people that helped me get to where I am today. Because it's
That
all
is
about, like you just said, helping people.
So you go to kitchengardenexpert.com and it says ebook and then it says download. Is that right? Because that's what I think.
You hit the free button there. It's at the top of the menu, and you hit that, and it'll bring you to where you can download it. And
That is
so,
so cool. And I actually have read your book, and I think it is amazing to, first of all, to hear your voice in it, but also during the times of your health challenges, the cool part for me to hear with you speaking your book, writing, I get to actually, you never gave up. And that was the part that was so cool. This didn't work, so let's try this. And this didn't work, so let's try that. You didn't give up. And I think that because a lot of people say, I tried that, it didn't work. Move on. I'm going to the doctor. I'm doing pharmaceuticals. I'm doing whatever else they think. And I'm always like, great, everyone has choices. That's what we talked about at the beginning of the show. Everyone has choices. You don't like this, so you get to do this. You don't want to do that, so you go here. You don't like hot, so you go to the mountains. You don't like cold, so you go to Florida. Everybody gets to have choices, but for you, you didn't give up.
no, I had too much to live for. I still do. I'm the kind of person that wants to enjoy life each and every day. I'm thankful to God for having the life I do, and the healing that I've had. I'm not 100%, but I'll get there. I'll keep on, plodding along. And I keep throwing it back into the business sense. You keep trying different things. You keep trying, you keep pivoting. We talk about that a lot with, the virus thing and being shut down. What do? Pivot and punt, pivot and punt. And that's been my attitude with my own health. And I came from a doctor's family, so I was very narrow-minded. It didn't work. So I looked for an alternative. And for me, like you said, everybody has their own. For me, what I did, the steps I did worked. It took a long time because it was a chronic illness, but I'm glad I went through that. And I also believe nothing's by chance,
Oh,
nothing's by accident. And my experience, I've turned it around to help others. Just like you were talking about with the water machines. Well, wasn't it your daughter's allergies? Didn't
yes.
she have allergies and you were going to try the water, and if it cleared up the allergies, then maybe you can, and that changed your life too. I mean, it's
100%.
all of the experiences that we have.
Yeah. And it was my
Yeah.
fantastic make a deal with God. If the water works on my daughter's condition and my son's health,
Dealing with God.
oh my God, he
Yeah.
loves my deals. And so I said, if the water works on my kids, I am going to quit my job and do this full time. And that was 13 years ago. And I just think, oh my gosh, and to be able to not have those challenges anymore and to realize that, it's all about choices, certainly, but it's all about solving other people's problems.
Yep.
And if you're a solution person and you've got something, and even if it's COVID, even if it's summertime and your business shuts down, whatever that looks like, you've got a mission to share your something with the planet. And if your product solves a problem and provides a solution to someone else, there's no way we can keep this to ourselves. I mean,
Right.
seriously, we've got a meeting this afternoon with a gentleman from the UK who wants a water machine. We're in 23 countries. This is not a problem. And it turns out to be, how come the people in other countries are realizing that this water is necessary, and there's still people in our country that go, I don't know. And I just think, oh my gosh, you want to save money or what? This saves you so much money. They last a lifetime.
Right.
And it's just like with you, Doc, you've talked before about, and this still fascinates me, you've talked before about this seed is still the same family of seeds from 50, 100 million years ago. I don't, that blows my mind. You go to Walmart and get seeds and here you go. Not the same production that you would get from your seeds. And that's why for you to share your tomato plants with your client today, I know what that means, because those seeds are treasured. And that's the coolest thing I've ever learned ever. I never knew that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, heirloom seeds have been passed generation to generation. Some of them have been around for thousands of years.
Absolutely.
Which you're like, wow. When you think about it, like, wow.
Yes, it's fascinating.
Just like the natural medicine piece, a lot of the modalities that I work from have been around for thousands of years. It works. There's no reason why it won't.
Do you know, I can't remember, I don't think this had a religious reason for it, but back in the olden days, and I'm talking the 1800s, my great grandmother literally, I remember that they treated pneumonia with garlic and onion poultice. Well, I'm sitting here going, what does poultice mean? And you're not getting garlic and onion near me. And of course, I'm in my 20s going, you people are freaks. But if anybody ever got sick, that's what you would do, is you'd smash this stuff up and you would lay this hook on their chest, and it broke up all the crud, and now they're not sick anymore and they didn't die. And I was just like, there's a lot to be said about that. So I personally choose to do anything I can natural rather than pharmaceutical stuff. But that was way before it was cool. But they called them witch doctors or something back then. What was that for?
Oh, they call them, what was it? Snake oil salesmen and that kind of stuff.
Yes.
My opinion, and in just my studies of, as allopathic medicine, as Western medicine started to come into its own, they needed to push out some of there were some people that were snake oil salesmen, that were selling, but we see that still nowadays, they're, try this, you'll lose 25 pounds in 1 minute, and
Wait a second.
that's healthy.
That doesn't work.
No.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's not kind of not healthy anyways, but no, it's, so there was an ebb and flow going back and forth between what was traditional, whether it's Native American medicine, Chinese, Ayurvedic, name it. And then the things that we did, our families, the little remedies, et cetera, that actually got pushed out for kind of the mindset that we have nowadays of quick fix.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And a medication is a chemical. It may take care of a symptom, but it doesn't solve, where did the symptom come from? Because the body pushes a symptom out saying, hey, it's like a red flag, something's going on here, because our body is soul, body, spirit. It all works together. How we think, what we put in our mouths, what we drink, and then our connection to God or your higher source. All works together. When one is off, everything is off. So yeah, but the snake oil salesmen, they kind of took that and ran with it, that all natural medicine is not good. A natural or alternative medicine, soaking in the bathtub with Epsom salts. How many of us have done that? That's a natural, that's been around for hundreds of years.
I remember you just brought this to my attention, and I please forgive me when you said that your book is on your website, and you just said soul, body, spirit again. That's what resonates with me. So to me, that's the title. That ain't the title. Tell us the title of your book, Doc.
A Healing Journey.
There you go.
Soul, body, spirit. Yeah, and we're all on a journey wherever we're at, whether we're healthy or not. We're all on a journey. And our health is the journey, is part of the journey. Mind health, mindset, soul, body, if there's something going on or not, and spiritual, wherever you are spiritually. So yeah, I picked apart the soul, body, spirit piece and tied that into how I healed over. It took me, I had the chronic illness for a good 2 to 3 years. And it took me about 7 to get through it to where I don't have chronic pain anymore. I still have some residual stuff, but, and I still have a few challenges, but, and I guess I'm one of the few that have actually come out of this. I've met a lot of people that did a different route, and unfortunately you know, they're, they're in a lot of pain still. And so, but yeah, it gives people, and it also, I wrote it too, to show people there's just different things and different, explained a few things that people might not know behind the scenes, because I've worked out in the industry with alternative care, on several different levels. And so there's, it's a resource. It's my story. And then I also break it down to, it's kind of a tribute to, I had 3 or 4 people that basically saved my life. So,
Wow.
so
That
yeah.
really is so amazing. And again, you think about it, you didn't give up. So for those of you listening with us today, honestly, if you have not, oh, you couldn't have yet because it's just got published publicly
You not
recently.
read my book.
If you have not read My Healing Journey by Laura L. Christine, please get on kitchengardenexpert.com and literally download the PDF and read it. Not only is it a quick read, but it's intense from a standpoint of personal. And when you do the soul, body, spirit piece, it's phenomenal, Doc, how you always wind that back around to go, if you this, you can that, and if you don't, you that, and it all works together. And you're such a beautiful example of that. And especially with your garden business, to be able to feed your family from your garden when the bunnies aren't there. It's such
There's food to feed them. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is a phenomenal thing. And as we celebrate and commemorate Flag Day today, it's one of those things that you think about. We are free to grow a garden. We are free to make choices where we want to worship. We are free to decide what food goes in our mouth. We are free to decide what water we're going to drink. And it's just a very cool thing because not every country on the planet can say that.
Right. Right. We are truly blessed, and we're truly blessed to be able to interact with, like you have talked about with your networking, meeting people all around the world, all around this country. It's a privilege and it's an honor to be able to interact with people and network and, have fun. We've made some great friends and had some fun. So it's what it's all. What and I was gonna, of course, not a general question at the end of all of this. What was your favorite thing about last week, Queenie? Besides all of the networking you've been doing.
Yeah. My favorite thing about last week, oh my gosh. Well, I will be honest and say my favorite thing about last week was the fact that Jesus brought the rain. And that was super cool. And I love watching the rain and I love seeing what it does. And I love literally looking out the window and the grass just greens up again just from that blessing. What was your favorite thing about last week, Doc?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't expecting you to flip it back. Well, we didn't get the rain. We got like a sprinkle.
And isn't that bizarre? 10 miles difference in our locations. And yeah. The weather
is like nothing. The wind blew and I thought, oh, yay, we're going to get rain. We didn't get rain.
No, we were swamped. Yeah. In a good way. I mean, nothing was damaged, but it's just amazing to see that. And I know that you have so much happening in your world and the clients are finding you from the internet now and your Instagram reels, which is the fun thing to see. It really is. It's super fun to watch your reels because the following and the growth, it really, I think this is the best time in the whole world. And I hope if people are thinking my business slows down in the summer, punt and pivot and fix that because it really doesn't have to. It just really doesn't have to. I guess if you're selling ice cubes, maybe it's not a good time, except maybe it is a good time.
Well, maybe it is a good time.
Maybe you can't keep frozen long, but people need more of them. I mean, it depends on how you look at it.
Or the way I think for myself personally, if it's a slower time or a downtime, use it wisely, work on part of your business, whether maybe you need to network more or develop something, some new idea, or write a book, or, there's always something that you can do to complement your business and expand it, even if you're not selling.
True.
I mean, and if you're open to learning, I mean, it's, I know you are, Queenie. I know I am. I'm always learning, which I love. I love having the freedom to be able to learn and learn. There's always something to learn. Like, wow, I didn't know bunnies could jump into my garden that's 2.5 feet high.
You learn
No
something
idea
new
they
every
do
day.
that.
For me, the opposite of learning is stagnation, and I can't afford that.
I
So
can't either.
that's not a good fit for me. And so the constant learning, what button to push, how to figure this out. This isn't working, so I need to what. So I'm surprised YouTube hasn't banned me yet from all my questions, but so far they haven't. So every time I have a question, I go to YouTube, and by golly, there's a million people on there willing to help us out. So it really is terrific. And again, I seriously mean it. I look forward to Mondays at high noon with you every single week. And we're at the end of our time together. So I guess I have to say, Doc, take us home.
Well, and I put this background on because we just like to have fun. And I think we're having fun this day that we took those pictures.
Yes. Oh my gosh, absolutely.
I think that's actually when my phone died and we were doing everything on the computer.
And
So
we said things like, I wonder what this does. I don't know. Try that.
buttons. Yeah, pushing buttons. And
Yeah,
then taking
I have no idea. Let's see what happens if we this. Okay. Yeah.
That would be a punt and a pivot, right? In some ways.
I would say
Yeah.
that would be major cases.
Well, happy Flag Day, everybody. Happy Strawberry Shortcake, National Strawberry Shortcake Day. And I hope that everybody is staying cool if you're in a hot area, or if you're cold, get warm. Though there are elevations up in Idaho, I saw the other day that have, snow, and I'm like, no, 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 no. So check out Kathy's, Queenie's social media, which you can find her at Kathy Weaver KC, kathyweaverkc.com, her website, or check me out at Kitchen Garden Expert on all the social media platforms, and kitchengardenexpert.com. We hope everyone has a fantastic Monday. Check us out on Thursday nights at 7 for Bible trivia, or come back next week at and we will chat some more. Take care and have a fantastic week. Bye, Queenie.
Bye, Doc. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.